People often comment to us that we have a lot of terrier mixes, specifically a lot of pit bull type dogs, but we do have a little bit of a variety right now. We have Tripp here, who is a Husky mix. We had Oliver, who is a Shepherd mix. We also have a couple of Hound mixes, and then Milo, who's a Rottweiler mix. So there is a little bit of variety right now if you want to go online and check out what we have available. But we're here to talk about Tripp right now. Tripp did come to us as a stray, as many of our dogs do. We hold them for 5 days to allow owners a chance to claim them, and when they don't, then we go ahead and either process them and make them available for rescues or for adoption. And Tripp has recently become available for adoption. He's this great kind of yellow color with his icy blue eyes. So he's a very attractive dog. The people who processed him, the staff, they say he is super affectionate. They really liked him, and he doesn't seem to have a lot of issues in the kennel. He is very friendly when you approach him. He reacts favorably to other dogs, which is really important. Easy to obtain. Can be a little bit difficult to walk, but I mean, most of our dogs are, because unfortunately they don't have a lot of training before they come to us. So working on getting him on that harness, polite leash training. He does know sit already, and as you can see, he was giving Sean his paw. Not great at catching the treats though, which is Sean's hallmark there of the prime dog, right? No issues with food or objects. Really enjoys petting. And they say he's very food motivated, which helps with that training aspect, because if they're willing to work for food, you can get them to do a lot of different things. And sometimes Huskies can be a little bit harder to train, so the fact that he's food motivated is going to be super beneficial to whoever goes on and makes him part of their family.
So what's the one thing people should know about Huskies if they were thinking about adopting one?
So, there are things like being a little bit more difficult to train and a challenge in that regard, because they are, working dogs. But what I think, most people tend to forget is they think they're really beautiful, but they have a lot of fur. He's definitely some sort of mix, so he's not as fluffy as some of the others that we've had here, but there's going to be a lot of shedding, a lot of maintenance, a lot of brushing. When it gets hot, he's going to lose that coat, so it's going to be even more intense, and a lot of people aren't thinking about those things. But also, Huskies are bred for cold weather. So, if you want to be out hiking and going to all the breweries in the summer, not super ideal for your dog that was bred for cold weather, right? It's going to be too hot for him. And if you don't like cold weather, that's when your dog wants to be outside. How many calls do we get in the winter for dogs outside when it's too cold and it's just a Husky playing outside? They want to be out when it's nice and cold. So making sure that even though the dog is a beautiful dog, he's kind of fits with your lifestyle is going to be super important, because we don't want him to come back here because he doesn't fit into what you want to do. And we also don't want him to get hurt. Dogs don't regulate body temperature the same way we do. We don't want him to have any type of medical complication because of him being outside in the heat. So just kind of thinking of those types of things. But if you think that you are prepared for all the fur and all things Husky, and you want to meet with Tripp, then you can book an appointment online by going to visit fcac.as.me.